As I'm looking at my timestamp, it's kind of really cool, where I am recording at this point. It's Tuesday, July 22, 222. Some beautiful, beautiful twos. And the alignment is beautiful. The number 22 in sacred geometry is great. And so our topic today is a sacred beginning through oneness with God of activating the actual pages in Worthy Me journal, activating the quotes as teachings and as resonances within your body so you can live from the place of reclaiming your worth. So Victoria Rader with You to Shine with our Worthy Me movement. And so our very first quote is very powerful, and it comes from DNC 1810, which is Doctrine and Covenants, one of the spiritual teachings that I love to study. 1810, and that teaching, that scripture is: remember, the worth of souls is great in the sight of God. So remember, the worth of souls is great in the sight of God. And I want to share with you a story that I've shared often when I do public speaking, but just give you a very concise story of that. In 1986, when the Chernobyl exploded, which was a nuclear station in the former Soviet Union in Ukraine, and there was the suspicion of obviously that proved to be later correct, one of the most devastating nuclear disasters in the history of humankind. My dad was a regional director for a regional newspaper, an editor in chief for the regional newspaper, and he was asked to travel to Chernobyl within days after the explosion to report that everything was well. And so he went to Chernobyl, came home, and was throwing up from for 4 days from mild exposure to radiation, and he refused to report that everything was well. And that, of course, caused a lot of friction and difficulty at a time. But what happened when the Soviet Union fell apart and the Ukraine became independent? Dad was one of the very first journalists invited to come to the US for the experience exchange for free press, because in the former Soviet Union, of course, there was no such thing. The press was simply expressing the opinions of the government. And so when he went and had an incredible incredible time in the U.S. And so when he came back, he brought this cassette player, which was a big thing back then, and my very first M&Ms. I've never had anything like that before. And so I asked my dad. I asked him, what was, he had so many different impressions coming back. And I said, what was your biggest lingering impression from your trip? And he said, you know how we have here all the memorials to the World War II, and they have tombs where the unnamed soldiers are buried, those that were not identified, and they're called the tombs of the unknown soldiers. Said, when I was at the Arlington Cemetery, I stood by the tombs of the unknown soldiers, and what it said on the tomb was, there lie those who are known only but to God. And he said, that is the difference. That is the difference between totalitarian tyranny and a free society. And the difference is in knowing that you're known, if only to God, where you're not a number, where you're not a disposable pawn in the game, but where you're known. And so this first quote is the very activation of that simple, poignant truth, right? The fact that you are known, the fact that you are known to God establishes your infinite worth. Nothing you have to do, nothing you need to accomplish. You do not earn your worth. Earning your worth is not a thing. It's become a thing in society where we measure our worth based on our success or status. But inside of God, the worth of souls is great, and you are known. And so, for the quantum shift today, I want you to put your hand on your heart. Just center fully into your heart. You can put your other hand on a solar plexus if you choose to. You can close your eyes and simply say, I am known, and gently tap into your heart. I'm known. I'm worthy of my Creator's love. And if you would allow for me to shift that for you, to activate that for you, that you are worthy because you are known by your Creator. And that is more than enough to start our incredible journey. By the way, all the links to get the journal and anything else are always in the comments.